Okay, so to add on to yesterday's, yesterday's assignment and yesterday's lesson, we're now going to add in 2 more ways that triangles can be congruent. So the first way that we're going to talk, these are the 2 ways, angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. So yesterday, the majority of the time you dealt with sides. Now this time you're going to deal with angles. So angle, side, angle means that you have 2 angles marked. So I'm going to draw those nice little triangles again. So that means like this angle and this angle have 1 marking, this angle and we'll say this angle have 2 markings. Angle, side, angle means that you have 2 angles and then the side that is attached to those 2 angles. 2 angles and then the side that is attached. So these 2 angles and the side that's attached there that they share is this side. Same thing here. So that is what angle, side, angle looks like. 2 angles and the side that they share. So that's what angle, side, angle is. Now angle, angle, side, we have to be a little bit more careful with it. That means that you have 2 angles and the same, that's the key, non-shared side, I guess we could say. So what that means is I'm going to draw my triangles again. So we have the 2 angles, and I'll draw the same thing like we had up there. We have angle, angle. Now, where this side goes, where the marking for the side goes is very important. If I mark it here, this side that's marked is attached to the angle that has 1 marking and no marking. So if I mark like this side, that would be 2 markings and no marking. So it can't be that side. It has to be this one. So you have to be careful where the side is marked. If they would have, or if I would have put a marking here, that would have been not congruent. So I'm just going to warn you that you definitely need to be careful with those sides. So let's take a look at a couple of examples of what you're going to be doing today. And so this first example says, are the 2 triangles congruent? If so, state the theorem that makes them congruent. So for these first ones, it's either going to be angle, side, angle, or angle, angle, side, or none. And then we're going to write a congruence statement. So if we take a look here, we have 2 angles, so that works, and then a side and a side. So the side is not in between, so it's not angle, side, angle. So we're going to check for angle, angle, side. Angle, angle, and then the side that's marked is attached to the 2 marking and no marking. And then the side that's marked, 2 marking, no marking. So this is going to be angle, angle, side. And then the congruent statement is going to be triangle. Let's go JKL is congruent to triangle. If I go from J to K to L, 1 mark, 2 mark, no mark, 1 mark, 2 mark, no mark. So QRP. Let's take a look at this one. So for this one, we have 2 angles. So it could be either one of these. And then the side that's marked is actually the side that both these angles share. So this would be angle, side, angle. And you would write your congruent statement. So triangle, we'll go JKL again, is congruent to triangle. If you go JKL, no marking angle, no mark, 1 mark, 2 mark, no mark, 1 mark, 2 mark, M, N, O. And then this one right here, we have angle and then 2 sides, angle and 2 sides. The only one that we're not dealing with that today, so this would be not congruent. And actually this one would still not be congruent because if you have an angle and 2 sides, it would have to be side, angle, side. So that's kind of what you're going to be doing today, taking a look and seeing which one is which. So the other thing you are going to see is like this again. You're not going to see one like this. But you will have the shared sides and the shared angles. So for this D right here, you do have vertical angles going on. So here, again, if we're looking at angle, angle, side, and angle, side, angle, 2 angles, side not in between, marked right there. 2 angles, side not in between. So this would be angle, angle, side. And then you could write a congruent statement. Here, We do have a shared side, angle, and now if this is 90, we know that this is 90. That's just one of those things we know because it's a straight line. So angle, angle, side, angle, angle, side. And again, we could write the congruent statement if we want. You guys have done super well with that, so I'm not going to spend much time on that. Let's see. I'm taking a look at my notes here and trying to see if there's anything else. Okay, here we go. Let's look at the triad here. So now we are looking at triangles, and all 4 of them are in play. So all 4. So here for A, we have 2, and think of this almost as like multiple choice. Like we're going to use process of elimination here. So 2 angles and a side. So 2 angles and a side means it can't be these 2. It's got to be one of these. So is the side in between or is the side not in between? And the side is in between. So this is angle, side, angle. It's kind of like using process of elimination. B, all 3 sides are marked. That's it. So this one's going to be side, side, side. I feel like I hear a lot of people telling me that's the easiest one to figure out. For C, 2 angles and a side. So again, it's going to be one of these. The main thing to ask yourself is the side in between the angles or not in between. The side's not in between. This is where you have to be careful. Is the same congruent or corresponding side marked? And it is, because here's 1 dash or 1 arc, no arc. 1 arc, no arc. It is the same side, so this would be angle, angle, side. And then for D, we have 2 sides marked and an angle. So 2 sides and an angle would be side, angle, side. We just need to make sure that the angle marked is included or in between. 2 sides, angle in between. 2 sides, angle not in between. So this is not congruent. So hopefully that makes sense. If not, reach out. Your assignment today will just be over these. You do have a quiz coming up on Monday over this stuff, and you will have to write congruent statements and things like that. But overall, I'm very impressed with how well you guys have been doing. So again, reach out if you have any questions.